Grier's not stupid. He's working smart, but make no mistake, he knows he has to sign to him. They'll sign him. And by the way, there will be no holdouts. He's under contract. Okay? He's under contract. There are no holdouts. What's he going to do? Get fined $50,000 a day, and they can't rescind it. They used to do that, and they would, sit out, and then when they'd report, they'd write it off and say, "Oh yeah, no fines. Fuck it, we'll just erase it." That doesn't happen anymore. The fines will go against your salary. So he's not holding. He's under a 5th-year option. He has to play. They have him by the proverbial cojones. There'll be no holdout. And if he wants to hold in, it would create problems for him because he's in the middle of trying to, oh no, I want more than this guy, more than that guy. And see, the problem is that if you watch Jacksonville pay him and then, well, wait a minute, I'm better. Yeah, exactly. That's Jacksonville paid a guy that's not better than you. And we're not doing that. We're just because they're irresponsible, we're not going to do that. And that's kind of the way they're looking at it. Clearly. And so if you want to prove that you're that, then, you did the whole thing this year that you showed that you can stay on the field. Okay. Now you're going to have to stay on the field and, come through and play in other games and have big moments and all that. And then erase all the doubt and then ask for more money down the line. But for now, they have him by the balls. To be quite frank, they have him by the balls. He has no leverage. The only thing Tua can do is bring bad PR to himself. And he's not that. So he'll report, whether he'll be disgruntled about it or whatever, but he'll report, he'll play, and he'll be motivated to play at his best. One way or the other. If he has the contract, he'll be motivated to play at his best. If he doesn't, he'll be pissed to be motivated to play at his best. But the kid's a pro one way or the other. He's already gone through a coach that he literally knew didn't want him and wanted to get rid of him. Like, he had to deal with that for 2 years. They're right now at this point, Tua Tagovailoa is Tony Montana. And right now, Tua Tagovailoa is sitting right now in the interview room, just like Montana, sitting there looking at the guy from the Feds saying, hey, you can do to me, you can't do to me what Castro has not done already. And that's basically, you can't do to me what Flo has not done already. So he's going to survive everything. Once he survived the whole Flo mess, he could survive anything. So that I'm not even worried about that kind of stuff. So he'll be motivated with enthusiasm or anger, but he'll still be motivated because in the end, he's a true pro. And he could have been a dick the first 2 years. Like, yo, bro, you drafted me and you're playing slapdick, jabroni Brissett and all that. He could have gone the other way, and he didn't. So I just think a lot of people look too much into this. I think Chris Grier is doing what he normally does, and he doesn't give a shit what position it is. The problem is some of you out there just want to complain to complain, whether he gets it or he doesn't. Frankie Fresco is a perfect example of that. He's the guy that fuels the fire for the contract to then fuel the fire to complain about the contract. He's the perfect example of what I've talked about. He lives on this chat board talking about that on and off and 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 on and off. Because that's all this is to you guys out there. But in the end, Chris Grier is trying to negotiate the best deal he can, and he doesn't give a shit what player it is. And in the end, if Wilkins wants $29 million or whatever, $28 million, He looks at him and he says, "You're not a pass rusher, bro. I'm not paying you. And I'm out of here." And he went and I'm paying Zach Sealer, who has your stats and maybe even a little better, half the money. How am I going to pay you that kind of money? You're the same thing that Zach Sealer is. Why would I pay you that kind of money? And he's a terrific player, but he overpriced himself. And it doesn't matter who you are. He's got an issue now with the Tyreek Hill situation. And, we'll see. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but he made a mistake in not trading X a couple of years ago off the 10 interceptions. I know I know it's easier for me to say it than them doing it, but I understood why they hung on to him, because they were trying to make a run here with Tua and McDaniel and all that kind of stuff. So I get it. It just didn't work out. But you have a chance now to, do the right thing again. Because, see, Joe Fan out there sits there and go, "Oh, no, Tyreek Hill will be getting 1,500 and 1,700 yards for us every year for, until he's 35. And it's the stupidest shit in the world. There's going to be a drop-off, and the drop-off will be big. It'll happen. Don't know when, but you don't want to be caught in a deal when it happens. And you got one more year, and you're going to ask for another 1,700 yards. That's 3 in a row to a guy that's going to go to 31 the following season. How much more do you want to roll the dice? No, you got to learn to get off the gravy train at the right time. The Heat failed to get off the gravy train from Butler last year. The Dolphins failed to get off the gravy train of X 3 years ago. And Tyreek's gravy train is probably going to end after this season, because then you start playing with age and injury and wear and tear, and you got to make good decisions. You got to be a tough negotiator. And so far, Grier has proven to be a tough negotiator. And Shore has proven to be a very crafty contract creator.